And hello everyone who is tuning in tonight. I am Goizord and I will be your host for tonight's Oceanink Series match. It is a Division 2 match with Notorious versus Venomous Squids, so it should be quite an exciting watch. The lobby is still setting up now, as you can probably see, so it will take a little bit before the stream starts really get going. I could almost think you were Obi-Wan Kenobi with how much you were saying hello there to me. I should mention as well, this stream will not have any overlays and that kind of fancy stuff. My computer just can't handle that stuff, sadly. Doesn't help that my overlay stuff is all outdated right now anyway, so you'll be seeing all the raw footage. So we might be looking at this screen a bit. Apologies on that front. Apologies if that door came up in the commentary track. I could have sworn it was closed and then it started creaking on me very heavily. But in any case, it looks like everyone's in now, so hopefully the matches will start. Or everyone was in. Considering it's going to be Clan Blitz on Piranha Pit, Gucciba could... I don't know, out of any charger here, I feel like the Kensa charger probably would have the best kit, just for a baller if the team needs it. But we'll see what their roster is, because depending on who's in, they might have another person who's already got baller duty settled. Kensa Pro, Booyah Bomb isn't great at necessarily breaking open a basket, it's more about maintaining it, which is the same role a Splashdown would have. So it's not a bad special for Clan Blitz, but it isn't one you should be relying on if you're trying to initiate a basket break. Now I have watched Notorious in 2 previous scrims on this map, but Shane is someone who was not playing in both of those scrims from my memory, so I can't really make any predictions based on their weapon, but I'm pretty sure Noah liked playing the sloshing machine quite a lot here, and the Reza is probably going bull point, but it might not be the map for it. Meanwhile, Prince or Katmizi is probably guaranteed to play like a brush. It's likely to be the Naval, Octobrush Naval, because of the beacons and the missiles, but I couldn't say for certain. Meanwhile, I can't really quite comment on Amanda and Ryder, as I haven't played with them a whole lot personally. And well, yeah, we'll see probably some kind of charger from Wacko. That's my understanding of what he plays. Everyone's ready now, so we'll start the first game of this set. Alright, well, Noah was playing a bucket, just the wrong bucket. And Prince is going catches. That might be my fault. Early lead here from for Notorious here, with Nereza getting 1 kill and 1 assist, while looks like Wacko is in a bit of a sticky situation right now, and they end up going down. It's only been 40 seconds and now Notorious has already broken the barrier, but those bubbles might have been popped a little preemptively, and now Noah goes down with trade. That means that the basket has only had just under 20 points 40 points, sorry, pushed in, and it's already closed once again. Oh, that was not the right person to look at them. Notorious is 2 down right now, but they've had such a commanding hold on mid that VS hasn't really been able to make a push in out of it. I should have looked at that one sooner. Now it looks like Notorious did a baller push in, but Brett exploded his baller and dropped the clam, and now he wasn't able to get it in. So effectively Notorious was able to break their penalty, but that was it, and it's given VS yet another clam to work with. So we'll see how this affects it all. Marco's gone for a flank here, tears the armor off, does manage to take out their Noah now. He's pushing in with possibly bubbles? No, and Shane is able to take them out because of it. Kaz has gone now down there, which oh, now. Looks like Notorious is now 3 down. Capmeezy's at the basket. They've got bubbles out as well, but they've only really able to get 1 clam in so far. Wako was able to take out Kaz. Cat splashdowns a little early, but Nereza does go down, and now they've gotten lead with a very good push. It looks like that's going to be the end of it though, because now, ooh, Amanda managed to get another 3 in. That's all the way down to 35 from a single push. Very, very good job there from Venomous Squids. They, Notorious had their numbers down, and they managed to take full advantage out of it then. Looks like Ryder's aim was just a little bit more on point there, and won the ballpoint duel. You can see that Notorious is rather grouped up here, with both of their anchors sitting on this little hump here, and only really Shane being able to push in at all. The bubbles have come out from Notorious. They've got 2 clams out, but Cat uses a splashdown, completely disables the bubbles. Now, in quite a reversal, now Notorious is now completely wiped. They're able to push back in with yet again more clams. Notorious is all jumped in now, but Cat almost taking a book from Atomic in yesterday's match, or rather the match from Midnight versus Diamantia, hides on the wall there and gets a couple sneaky clams in. Ryder's thrown another bunch in. They've gotten the score all the way down to 23, and Amanda throws one last one in to bring it all the way down to 20. With only 40 seconds left, Notorious effectively has to make a 70-0 push if they want to be able to overtake this now. Amanda wasn't really seen by Nereza, and then they go down as they're trying to focus on the enemy bull point there. Shane is trying to kind of keep the rail push open, but ultimately the Tetras are able to just kind of guard around the ramps really effectively. Amanda does manage to take out the Explosher, but now a bull is coming in. They've got 3 clams up. Is Amanda able to take out any of them before they can jump out? No. Are they going to go for a jump now? No, they also couldn't. It looks like the bull failed. I was focusing on the wrong person, it seems. Now Noah's trying to make a sneaky flank here. They've jumped. If they can climb up the wall... They are trying to get jumps in now, but it seems it was a bit late. Kaz does get the throw in now, but now it looks like they've went down. Now Shane is down. Waku's the only one left up on the basket, and that looks like it's going to be game 1 to Venomous Squids. They managed to get a very strong push in while Notorious just stumbled theirs, which is quite unfortunate. A key moment, I feel, is when Notorious had about 2 clams up and now throwing bubbles out from mid, and then Captain Easy with the Tetras just splashdowns on the bubbles mid-deployment, throws the entire plan off guard, and it just really ruined their day. So a very nice play there, using the Splashdown's newfound object destruction tendencies. Now I've got a sub out for Venomous Squids, seeing as it seems Cat has done their only duty for their Clan Blitz matches, which from memory is what they tend to switch in for with Venomous Squids. Now back with the co-captain, or other captain, Morwile. Onwards to Rainmaker Albacore. Now I can imagine we'll see a fair few wall points on this map once again, just because it's got a lot of range it can use quite comfortably, and it can just manage all of this bridge strafing on the grates with no real hassle. And it should be quite a comfortable pick if they need a longer range or an anchor. And it seems Notorious is already quite settled on what their team comp wants to be, but Venomous Squids is still taking a bit to decide. Capneezy has subbed out Eidos. Oh, hi Shadow. Oh, no more ball points on either teams now, both opting for a charge instead. It seems I was quite mistaken. As you can see, Venomous Squids is all quite grouped up there on the other side of the Rainmaker, while Notorious kind of went for a 3-in-1 split, which ended up kind of not being in Kaz's favor, to say the least. Marco seems to have been outcharged, but it looks like, I believe that was Shane, also was making a unfortunate play there and pushing right into a brush. And we can see now, Morwell gets one, gets 2 of them with the Stingray now. Nereza is able to get a nice snipe on Amanda, but they also go down to, I believe that was the Heavy. And it looks like the push has been stopped just because Venomous Squids run a couple numbers too many down. Sorry for the lack of commentary there. Quite a bit of chaos is unfolding, and I had no idea what to comment with, but it looks like it's went in Notorious's favour now, as only Morwell's up. But it doesn't look like no one was able to quite get them out then, and they've got a Stingray at the ready if they need to stop this push. Narezo able to get a nice clean kill there on the brush, but not able to finish off the Kensadoolies, I believe, who are now going to try and rush them down. Narezo ultimately trying to break it early, but wasn't able to really get a second shot out, and so blew up right in their face. Now it's time for VS to try and make a counter push here against a 47, which ultimately isn't too strong. Wako seems to lose a duel against the Octo Shot there, who is now trying to injet them. Wasn't able to quite get anyone with that injet, but they're going straight back onto the pressure now. Takes out the brush, and is now in a pretty easy position to just throw a bomb and completely trap out the Rainmaker. So once again, Notorious is able to keep a clean hold, and we're going to see if they can make a push out of this. An early splashdown there from Wacko, possibly to survive a Rainmaker shot. But they do go down to the Stingray, and there's a number of Stingrays out right now. However, it looks like VS's Stingray wasn't able to get the Rainmaker, and instead Ryder just comes up on the block with a brush and takes it out rather swiftly. I wasn't quite paying attention there, but were they sniped or did they walk into a suction bomb? Either way, quite unfortunate. A bit of lag there coming from Nareza, or possibly Amanda, or possibly the whole lobby. A bit of a shame there. Current score is 1 vs 0 to Notorious. Oh! I spectated that one just a tiny bit too late there. Morwell was unable to quite make the jump across the moat there. And Wacko also goes for a swim as well. That's an unfortunate way to end a push there. Oh, I see now. I must have been late to notice it, but it seems when that lag fest happened, there is also DC'd. Considering the time, however, it seems that Notorious doesn't really have much opportunities for a free replay here, so they're choosing to play on. There's a brawler coming out from Amanda now. Looks like they're gonna be able to quite easily trap Shane, who's now kind of forced to dance around the Rainmaker pedestal. Now with only 9 seconds left, it looks like Shane pretty much would have had to go for a mad chase just to be able to get to the Rainmaker, but it was too much of a distance to close now. Actually, I think I've had the scores wrong this entire game. It turns out that VS is the one that needs to make a push, and not Notorious here. So they're in quite a much more comfortable situation, seeing as Kaz was just able to do that and stop a push quite simply there. Luckily the DC happened quite late there for Notorious, so it didn't ultimately impact their ability to defend. And otherwise it was a fairly big skirmish there where everyone just ended up splatting each other back to back. 20 there from Kaz, which I sadly did not spectate for most of, but it could have also been from the 3 armor assists. So we will have to wait for Splatnet to show that one. I'm just going to take this time to close my brother's door because I cannot save this recording if he's shouting. Alright, I'm back, and it looks like Notorious is once again fairly confident with their picks here. I can imagine Shane is probably sticking to a shooter, and Kaz is probably sticking with something that's objective related, or an NZAP, or maybe even a Neo Splash. I've noticed they're quite effective on Splat Zones Anchovy. Meanwhile, I can imagine that Nereza is probably going to go to the Bull Point for this one, just because the Bull Point Naval is fairly good with this, as it has the constant ability to lay down pressure, it has rain it can throw on the zones, and it has beacons it can constantly put around the battlefield, which makes it very easy for the team to just get right back into it. Now with only 5 seconds left, it does not look like Venomous Squids was able to comfortably find their weapon setups here, so hopefully it does not cause them any headaches for the upcoming match. And indeed, we do see Nereza on the Bull Point Naval, as well as Morwile on the Custom Hydra with 2 main power-ups. That is going to be quite interesting here. Straight out of the opening engagement, we can see Nereza's trying to take an aggressive position on their fan, and manages to take out 2 of them because of it, only getting stopped by Morwile. Meanwhile, Shane is trying to push in on Amanda, but against a Hydra, that is quite a tough proposition. We can see both teams have armor up now. Amanda is trying to just, Oh! Poor Kaz got stuck up against a wall and then exploded by a baller. And then Van Noah goes down after splashdowning as well, so it looks like VS has still got a rather comfortable hold here. But the baller has just recapped it now, so I might have spoken a little too soon. Wacko is able to get 2 partials off to kill off Nereza, or Splat, sorry, and it looks like Noah and Kaz have also effectively been able to 2v1 Amanda, and now Ryder is pretty much left alone, ending up trading with Kaz because of the suction bomb. We can see both Kensa dualies are trying to shoot at each other there, and then the bullet comes out. It does not look like it really ended up accomplishing much for Shane, however. That is one very aggressive bull point position up on the enemy block there. Nereza was able to get revenge on Wacko for those 2 partials earlier. I should probably be focusing on the rest of the map now. Kaz has been up on the enemy plat this entire time, it seems. Kaz was playing quite a patient game there and just took out Wacko from the back now. Morwile here was able to predict Shane coming up, but was unable to stop it, and then I believe they ended up getting a double. And now it looks like VS has gotten wiped with only 20 seconds left on the clock for Notorious, which is a very comfortable position to be in. Or at least for Notorious. Now with no real options to break back into the zone with such a short amount of time remaining, Notorious is able to take game 3, which makes the current score 2-1 in their favour. As you can see there, kills were not particularly in the high number, mostly just because Splat Zones tends to be fairly swift, so there's not a whole lot of time to rack up those numbers. Oh, it looks like Morwhale is going to... no, it wasn't Morwhale, it was Wacko who's switching out for TC on Sturgeon. We'll see who they bring in. Oh, it's Catmeasy once again. If I just had to guess, I know Noah's got quite a fondness of the buckets right now. It's certainly a pretty good map to play a Kensa machine on. Meanwhile, if Catmeasy can get on any high ground with the brush, it's going to be quite an annoyance for the enemy team, so we might end up seeing that playstyle occur. And it looks like Kaz and Shane have also both tagged in now. I can imagine Kaz is probably sticking with his favourite Enzap once again, and Shane is probably playing an aggressive shooter or dually, as the last 3 matches have shown. I can't imagine Cat would end up playing Custom Blaster here, just because Kaz has shown Enzap 3 times now, and if there's any armor up when you've got a Blaster play, it's going to be quite unfortunate for the Blaster. So if there's any kind of if there's anything like that going on in their heads, I cannot imagine they would end up picking a Custom Blaster. Oh, did indeed go Custom Blaster, so that might be a bit unfortunate. Also, Kaz is no longer playing the Enzap, but instead an N3D, a H3D with whichever the long one is. I was talking about the smaller one earlier, and they're playing it with 3 main power-ups. Now Cat goes straight up and just immediately takes out the charger, and also gets a pick on Noah. And then Kaz goes down to an unrelated, I believe it was a bomb, and it means now VS has completely gotten the first impression out of the way now. Cat's gone for an aggressive push-up, and it looks like it's ultimately going to end up in their demise here. We're going to now spectate onto Kaz. Ooh, that is rather unfortunate, with a bull point's full off damage there, just being able to completely decimate. Noah is able to take out Amanda with the Stingray, and now Wright is really the only person up on the aggressive push here. Or I might have spoken too soon, seeing as Catmeasy's already back around the tower and manages to take out Nereza. Sadly, what I thought would happen came true. The armor immediately makes the blaster wish they weren't in mid. Amanda was able to take out Nereza from the back. They're really just trying to keep that Stingray suppressed, and it's working really well in their favor now. They've gotten none up so far. Another weapon pick I haven't spoken of much so far is the Rapid Blaster Pro here, which, ooh, that is rather unfortunate timing. I believe Nereza actually got a double there, taking out the person on the drawbridge as well. Nereza playing very aggressively there, and it's paid off! A double! Sadly, they were not able to jump out though, as the ball point just said no. And then got note on themselves here from Noah with the sloshing machine. So quite a lot of splats in a short time frame there. Now we can see, oh, was that Catmeasy in mid? Immediately put into a 3v1 though, and it looks like, wow, I believe Shane was not even the target there, and they ended up being splattered in collateral. Amanda was able to take out 2 of them. I'm not sure what Nereza was doing there, possibly failed a command to jump back to spawn. A Stingray coming out now from Noah, and it doesn't look like they're able to quite get anyone, mostly because the suction bomb pressured them and they weren't able to really finish off their duration. Now Cat's gone up with the inkjet. He's able to take out Nereza once again. They're really keeping Nereza's stingrays really suppressed here, just because they just keep getting splattered. And speaking of which, there's a lot more splats going on here. But even through all that chaos, Venomous Squids was able to get the score all the way down to the final checkpoint now. So we're going to see if Notorious is able to now bring this back into their favor. Noah's trying to camp on the drawbridge, and an inkjet's come out as well now. Oh! Noah saw what they wanted, and they got it as well. And they got another one! And they got another one! Very, very nice play there from Noah. And it looks like it's pretty much given them the first checkpoint secured for free now. Oh, another nice sneaky shot there. Noah's nailed a lot of the directs so far. However, I should probably look at the actual objective cam. It looks like Kaz has now made it all the way to the final checkpoint. They already have taken over lead. They managed to take out final checkpoint now. That was a bit of a concerning kill. But through that one reversal there, Noah with some really, really good directs, it completely turned into a reversal. I think Noah ended up getting about 6 splats back to back there. Certainly we're going to be seeing that one on Twitter later. And it certainly shows. Once again though, Nereza just completely got shut down with all those stingrays. Ultimately it did not matter, as Notorious were able to push in through their own sheer willpower. Yeah, I agree. I was saying this to a friend in relation to Starfish. No, not Starfish, Blackbelly, where any map that has walls is good for AoE, and certainly Sturgeon Shipyard has a lot of walls, and Sloshing Machine has a lot of AoEs, or area effects, I guess. So yes, it's quite a potent tool on that map. However, Noah wasn't really using it for the AoE, just ended up getting constant directs there, and that's what ended up making the push. Now, Eidos, I would not be so confident about Venomous Squid's win here just because of Cat and Clams, because oh, never mind, Nereza has switched out, so they do not have a spawn camping bull point anymore. That's quite unfortunate. But what I was able to see in the scrims I have witnessed so far is that Bread is quite a competent frontline player, and that might put the pressure on VS. So we're going to see if Cat makes some sneaky back pushes through the garden, or if or maybe they'll play Tetras and just end up trying to hold upper mid or right around the spawn. It could be quite a lot of weapon picks here that would change how this map is played. I believe the score is currently it's 3-2 or 3-1 in Notorious's favor, I believe. Yeah. I kind of am losing track, sadly. Overlays, without overlays, you certainly do struggle to remember what the score is. Noah has picked the Tetras, and so has Cat. This is going to be battle of the upper mid between two fast dualies here, and we're going to see who prevails. Meanwhile, Kaz is sticking with the H3D now. Looks like Cat has won the opening engagement here. Meanwhile, Brett is trying to play bull point in the Rez's downside. Cat has gone straight to the camping once again, and Shane went down to Wacko on the Forge Pro, which is another pick that's going to be quite nice here, just so Venomous Squids has more specials to initiate on the clan basket with. Right, unable to get the shots out to punish whoever was in the ink there. I wasn't able to quite notice. Armor's come up now, and now Notorious has got a not quite free push here, as Venomous Squids is trying to defend rather well. Noah goes down through a 2v1, and now I believe it was Kaz who was carrying the clam, also went down, and there's another failed push so far. What surprises me most is that Notorious did not really attempt to stop that baller throughout the entire duration it moved. Oh, Amanda getting a nice kill there on Shane. Well, Spot, sorry. Oh, there was a bubble push from up above as well. Now, Amanda's gone up sneakily, and will Ryder notice the jump potential? They do. They jump to the wrong person, however, it seems. Possibly misclick. Now, Venomous Squids is left all pretty much abandoned now. Wacko goes for a desperation throw, but wasn't able to quite close that distance. Rather unfortunate turn of events there. And now Van Noah gets the splat on Ryder, and Amanda as well. Only Wacko able to stop the spawn camp from being set up. Oh, nice line up there from Kaz. Activated armor though. It doesn't look like Notorious is able to get much push out of it now. Kaz just unable to really get those shots lined up against Tetcher. I think we've all been there, sadly. Meanwhile, rain and baller damage means that Ryder goes down. Now Amanda's gone down. Only really Prince is up to try and keep... only Prince now is up to keep the basket under control. Tries to do a splashdown, but doesn't really end up getting anyone, and unfortunately has a bit of their own medicine now. Kaz gets a couple more throws in, but I think the basket is close now. All the way down to 39 remaining. Very, very strong push there. I believe it was straight from 100 right down to that. That means it was just under a 60 push. Kaz here got a bit of tunnel vision there against Wacko in their Forge. It seems like Cat did as well, however. Now Wacko's gone for a sneak push, but it looks like Brett has seen that one rather simply. I can't really commentate it on so far, but it looks like that bubble is pretty much effectively keeping Brett from being able to really damage them. And the rain's kept it alive as well. It looks like Shane is able to win the 1v1 against Amanda and Ryder, so they're able to barely keep their lead on hold there with a minute left. Noah sees Sneaky, but I'm not sure about the effectiveness of it, Beacon, and then immediately slides in to take out Wacko, but I don't believe they can really close the distance on that bull point, certainly. Of which that bull point is running Drop Roller, so if they jump to their own beacons, they get a massive speed boost. But that is a bit unrelated right now. As we can see, they're going for a baller push, but Shane isn't really able to close any distance and isn't really able to get anything in return. Now Amanda's coming in with the ball. Are they going to be able to close the gap? Not quite. And it looks like they're ultimately choosing to not really pick up the clam. Yeah, was not able to really get a good play out of that, and the ball goes straight to the water now. Notorious have 2 clams up now, and they need to get at least one in to be able to get rid of most of the penalty, and the other one would guarantee a lead. So if they're able to play this one really well, if they're able to get a good engagement in, they're going to have a very comfortable overtime. but that's only if they can really get it in. Bubbles came out now, but it was a bit unfortunate timing-wise. But meanwhile, they've thrown one of their clams in the water. I'm not sure what that was about, and I don't think they even have the time to really push in anymore. Not really. That feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity on that overtime there. And it means the score is now 3-2, still in Notorious's favour. Oh right, Notorious won that one. Oh my goodness, I'm really terrible with score right now. I'm a dumb person. It is indeed 4-1. I'm so sorry for the confusion I caused via this commentary. Yeah, if they're throwing that clam off the edge, it could have very well been to, they could have been hoarding just to stop clam spawns. And that does explain Wacko's bubbles, though. Yeah, it's not the first time I've had Who's Got Lead wrong. It's not the first time I've had that, that mess up for me. So, hopefully this time I'll remember who's made it up the wall and who hasn't. And we should mention now, if Notorious does win this one, it will be the set. So Venomous Squids is going to have to pull out quite an aggressive play here, just to be able to shut down all of the ramps and to be able to get a nice solid push in. If they're able to do that, they should be somewhat comfortable here. But that's only if. So we'll see if they can pull it off. Looks like Kaz is picked once again. I will wonder if the H3D comes up once again, as it feels like this map might have a lot of areas where it might struggle. I imagine like the snipe and high snipe would be two examples where someone can just get the drop on you straight away. Meanwhile now it looks like pretty much everyone has gotten ready. I'll be very interested to see how many anchors show up here, because I personally feel like many anchors don't really have the ability to really push up the ramps, because a lot of the time their best effectiveness is towards the mid, which doesn't really matter as much in Moray. So we'll see how many are picked here and what they're able to really do in the matches. Meanwhile, we see that Venomous Squids has went for no anchors, and we see Bread with a big ol' Explosion. Meanwhile, Kaz is also stuck with the H3D. Looks like Notorious get the opening pop. Also, Wacko's on NZAP, bit of a shorter range weapon. And it looks like, ooh, that's a pretty nasty 2v1. He's able to get out of it unscathed, luckily. I did not even notice, but Ryder just kind of disrespected Bubbles, went straight into the Exploder's face and said hi with a brush, just like a lot of brushes tend to do. And it looks like they were able to successfully stop Noah from being able to try and set up on their snipe. Now, Shane's went down. Ryder is able to push up on Kaz and take out the armor. They can now attempt to climb up high snipe, but it looks like the Stingray is going to stop their dreams just a little bit early now. And I don't know who exactly killed Cat Musi there, but if it was Bread, then that was quite a splat to fall off the map for. Now we see Inkjet has come out from Shane, but at the same time, I think that they activated their armor. I'm not entirely sure, so they ended up only being able to get really one assist out of it. Shane has gone up for a push here, managed to take out the beacon, but they're pretty much going to have to back away just because the everyone was pretty much just staring around on that snipe now. Meanwhile, we've got Bread here who's taking a very aggressive position with the Explosion, just trying to shut down the snipe. not really able to act anything out of it, sadly. And it looks like numbers are currently favouring Notorious, but only barely. Wacko's going for a bit of a flank here, but it was more of a surprise really, just to make Bread kind of have a hard time focusing on them. Ended up getting the splat out of it now. Wacko's kind of acting as Morwow's bodyguard right now, just closing most of the threats out the way, but sadly wasn't able to deal with an inkjet in the face. And it doesn't look like Wacko is quite daring right now, managed to get out of everything. Wacko did, I think they were going for a sneak push there, and they weren't able to pick it up, must have just scraped by it, which is a bit unfortunate. However, they still do hold lead, which is, I believe that score is effectively what happens if you climb up high snipe now. So, Notorious has got 2 minutes to try and make sure that they're able to get a better score than that, and they will get their knockout. Or not their knockout, sorry, but their win over the series match, rather. Ryder playing a bit of a patient game there, and manages to take out Ven Noah as well as Kaz on the Rainmaker now. Solid targets Bread, who ends up not being able to escape, and now Shane is really the only one up for Notorious. Nice double kill there for Venomous Squids. Oh, and Cat's able to take out the Brella as well. Billy's also down now. Rainmaker's got a fairly comfortable push right now. Not able to make it to the knockout, but now Morwow gets a double. If they can keep the basket open without dying to Noah, they've got a knockout on their hands. Oh, stopped once again. Noah wisely grabs it and doesn't jump down straight away. Looks like they're trying to just make sure everyone's out, which Ryder is not yet. So they can still place down a beacon if they choose to. Or it looks like they're choosing not to, however. Oh, sorry, if I must have been saying takes out Noah, I believe. I think that was on the top down. I believe Ryder gets a double before getting taken out, and now it looks like Cat Measy has a fairly free ride at just being able to shut down anyone who tries to step on Rainmaker. Kaz has picked up the Rainmaker now, and Wacko is trying to keep High Snipe under control, and it looks like they have successfully done so, which means Kaz is now left alone pretty much, and so the timer is likely to start draining now. That brief trip to the snipe took another 10 seconds off of the timer now. They've got 30 seconds, they've all got to climb up a wall. I am not surprised that happened. 10 umbrellas and walls are a bit of a tricky combination. And it means now the score is 4-2, still in Notorious's favour, so we are not done yet. And we can see there what Ryder was able to accomplish with a brush, and that is there's a lot of walls you have to climb on this map, a lot of ramps, a lot of areas where a brush can kind of just sit and spam the ZR button and get a lot of fun out of it. So, not too surprised there. Alright, no one is subbing out for game... I guess it's 4-2, so it would be 7 now. Jeez. If you couldn't tell, math is not my best subject. Seems like nobody's really quite sure about what they want to do to take on this map. Unfortunately, because of, I assume the Rez's internet issues, they're left without a really comfortable ballpoint position pick here, unless Bread's going to fill in that role once again. So it does leave them in a somewhat tricky position, but it looks like they've got a plan otherwise. Quite a couple interesting picks here. We can see a Neo Splash coming out from Ryder, but a Mini, Vanilla Mini coming out from Cat Measy. Meanwhile, there's a fairly standard and somewhat similar comp coming out from Notorious here. Cat immediately says no, but is unable to really follow up with it for the remaining players now. Early splashdown coming out from Wacko, and looks like Bread's really the only one left up on their plat now. He's able to trade with Ryder, but that's about it. Noro is able to get a trade onto Prince now, but it doesn't really look like, they might be able to actually get a zone. With more WoW down, that is zone captured now for Notorious. All has come in, unable to really get anyone directly, sadly. Might have exploited just a little bit early. Now Noah with Tetris just terrorizing their upper ground, and it looks like Bread's going for was going for a sneaky surprise on Wacko there, but was unable to really follow up with it. That's a somewhat awkward death cam there because of the bridge, but... Noah goes straight into a blaster direct, and it looks like Morwals end up getting... That was an unfortunate transition right as the death happened, but a lot of splats going on in VS's court right now. The Bomb Rush has come out, but so has the Booler. Looks like Shane was ultimately unable to really get anything done there, sadly. And Cat ends up getting a double now. What we can see now is I believe Bread was able to take out Ryder. Oh, that was interesting, but it did happen. I believe Bread just got a triple now. Kaz pushed up a little bit too aggressively, considering the nature of the HVD, but Shane is able to take out Wacko, and then the splashdown comes in to rather pretty much save him. Cat did an unfortunate missile timing there, but it looks like revenge happened rather swiftly. Morale just trying to keep them from being able to space and push past their tree. But they weren't really able to account for Noah, who was able to get another double on the zone, ended up getting a triple just because Morwell ended up distracted. And now the YouTube is only one up. Noah ended up just being shy of getting a wire ball on their own. Maybe a little too greedy considering what happened to them. Ryder pushed in just a little bit too enthusiastically, but it doesn't look like it ultimately matters that much now because VS have pretty much gotten another cap on the zone. What's interesting is that VS's caps just aren't very long, considering the score has only gone down to 87 so far, and it's almost been 4 minutes. The Bomb Rush comes out now from the Neo Splash Ryder, and it looks like Notorious isn't really able to contest with that kind of turf power. Morwell going for a sneaky angle there to try and take out the ball point. Wasn't able to really get a dodge roll out there to stop the mini Spartan from getting a full burst on them. And now it looks like Cats ended up just trying to use the kit here to try and keep the zone under control. Another splashdown now. They got 1 point off their penalty before Bread was immediately able to use the bull point to try and recap it. Noah ends up taking out a Ryder, gets a splashdown right onto the bubbles, and unrelated, ooh, Moyle just getting a sneaky one in there, but it looks like with 4 seconds left, Notorious has had this dominant amount of, it was really just quite a slugfest there. You had constant doubles and triples and a lot of numbers going down constantly, but the score never really went down far, at least for Venomous Squids. Which means that the score ends up in, I believe it's a 5-2 in Notorious's favour, which there was definitely a lot of close games in that set, and Noah going away with a clean 18 just shows what Tetras can do when they've got flat ground with just enough cover. In any case, I should probably have said this about 30 seconds sooner. That will be the end of this set. It is actually a recording. Well, it will be. And it's probably going to get uploaded. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was quite a nice showing for both teams then. Ultimately, Notorious was able to get the upper hand. Hopefully we see promising results for them in the rest of the season. And it was a good effort from Venomous Squids as well, getting quite a number of good matches in there, but just ultimately wasn't able to change the scoreboard. In any case, that'll be it for this match, and we will see you around.